Welcome to another fine episode of Cooking with the Pitmaster.
What the hell is this?
Tonight, we're on the air right now, Chuck.
Oh, I can't talk.
I got a studio audience over there. You can see there's my lovely wife, Karen, and there's our good friend Chuck.
You married me, ass.
I know. I got paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Here we go.
Anyway, back to your stupid
here we
show.
go. Now, what we got here is we're going to be doing pulled pork. This is the piece of meat that we're going to smoke tomorrow. This is the pulled pork. You can see you got the bone in there.
That looks like steak.
Shut up. Now,
That's on television?
what I will explain to you is this. In Japan, the Japanese, when they bring the sushi on a boat, the priests come out to the boat and they talk to the fish and they give it names. Tonight, we're going to give this piece of meat a name. We're going to call it Bubba.
You're a loser.
Shut up.
Bubba?
Hey, you guys are all interrupting me here. I'm trying to teach
Bubba?
people how to properly cook.
Who's Bubba?
Bubba, that's the name of the pork shoulder. Okay?
What was his name before you killed him?
I can't tell you that.
That's a question.
Now, we got it all here like this. We put it on our little table. And see, we're all set here. What I like to do is I like to rinse the meat.
Don't get anything
Shut
dirty
up.
on the other side there.
Well, I told you not to leave.
Clean.
Hey, zip it fucking mouth. I told you not to leave anything in that sink, and you didn't listen. See?
I didn't get a chance to put it away yet.
Well, you've been sitting here doing a lot of talking,
Really?
and there's a lot,
Paper
there's
towel
no
right
action
in front
going
of
on.
you, stupid ass. There you go.
I'm gonna bury my foot right up your ass. Let me explain something to you. Listen, there's about to be a murder over here, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I'm only kidding. There's not really a murder going on here. All right, I don't want Obama to take me out with a drone.
What are you looking for?
You know how those liberals are. You teach them how to shoot something.
Don't you dare. Oh, I can't believe you just did that.
And then what we do is we pat dry.
Oh, with my towels. Oh, my
We pat dry the meat.
Oh,
And we take care of Bubba. And we talk to Bubba. And we tell Bubba, what a fine Bubba you are. Hey, Bubba.
Give me that
He's a
goddamn
good
towel.
boy, Bubba.
Give me that towel.
Bubba's going in the smoker tomorrow
Freak.
to make fine pulled pork sandwiches.
You freak. Give me that
Shut
towel.
up. I'm going to zip. I swear to God. You better. Ooh.
I'm doing wash. Give me
I'm
the
telling you
goddamn
right now, I'm
towel.
going to stick that towel right in your head.
There's a piece
Yeah,
of-
put it around your head. Next thing you know, you'll be wearing a burqa. All right, here we go. And we take a little mustard, and what we do the night before, we put Bubba into the smoker. We like to give him a little bit of a mustard bath.
What's all that?
So this is what we do.
They're gonna eat the towel now.
We take some regular mustard. We happen to be using some spicy brown mustard, and we just rub it all over the meat like this.
That's it. Goodbye.
All over like this. See? We give Bubba a nice mustard bath.
There's something wrong with him.
And then what we do is we put it in our tin right over here. And we're pretty good. After that, what we do is we wrap it with plastic and we bury it up Karen's ass. I mean, no, we put it in the refrigerator and we cool it off. We let it chill until tomorrow. About an hour before I start up my smoker, I will pull it out and I will use this rub that I put together tonight for pulled pork, and I will coat the pulled pork with this rub. It's a fine rub. I know when I start my stuff, you guys know my rubs, I'll make them myself, and it'll be real good. I will talk to you guys soon, and we will have another installment tomorrow morning once we start patting down the pork rub, the pork shoulder. All right, it's time for my wife's medication. I'll see you later. Welcome to another fine episode of Cooking with the Pitmaster. All right, last night I showed you how to prep up the shoulder, pork shoulder. It's going to go into the smoker today. So what we did last night, real quick recap, is I took out the pork shoulder and we named him. His name is Bubba. Little Bubba. Bubba, say it. All right, it's 2 syllables. All right, we covered him lightly with some mustard. And now what we're doing is I'm taking the cellophane off, and we're going to apply the dry rub. And we're going to put it on like this here. I'm going to pat it down, pat it in there. What that mustard's going to do, that mustard is going to keep the dry rub on the pork roast. You want to try to get everything. Now, I want to show you something on this piece of meat. And the other part that I just put the rub on, that doesn't have as much fat as this, but this one does. They call this the cap. So that's the end that's going to actually be up. Alright? And it's the other end, the meaty end, that's going to be down on the grill. Alright, so now we're going to put some more dry rub on. I'm going to pat it in nice. It's my own recipe, dry rub. Got some paprika, some smoked paprika. We use some garlic. Some sea salt. Onion powder. We got it all in there. We also made the beans last night, and that video unfortunately had a problem getting on Facebook. So I'm going to give you a quick recap on how to do the beans. The beans are very easy. Take a couple of minutes to get that together. As long as you got the ingredients, you're good to go. Will not be a problem putting the beans together. And we want to get all that rub in there. So we're basically covering this meat. We're giving Bubba a good covering. Kind of like shake and bake. I don't know if you guys remember shake and bake. I don't think they make it anymore. They were killing people or something. I don't know. Alright. And remember now, this piece of meat that we have here is called a bone-in. That means Bubba's got his bone in there. In his shoulder. That shoulder bone's still in there. So what we're going to do is after this meat is completely done cooking, and we can tell that basically once the meat gets up to 160, 170 degrees, I'm going to take the meat out. I'm going to double wrap it in foil, and then I'm going to stick it back in the smoker. I'm going to let it cook for another hour, 2 hours. I'm going to make sure I have an internal temperature on the meat of 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the smoker is probably going to be between, I don't know, 225, 250. And we're going to let it get up the meat to 190 degrees. Now, the other thing I made to complement this meal today for my fine friends and family is I also made beans. Very, 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 very simple recipe. I'm going to show you right now. I took the lid off, and this is it right here. These are the beans. Now, real simple. What I did is I took 7 cups of bean, which is 56 ounces. I drained them and everything. They're regular Bush's beans. I drained them. I put them in my pot here. I added some brown sugar. I added some sea salt, some pineapple, some sliced garlic. I put a little cayenne in there, and I added some jalapeno. That's 1 sliced jalapeno, half sliced onion, sliced and diced, and as a matter of fact, I sliced and diced the jalapeno as well. I bought a second one, but I just didn't. I really don't need it. I didn't make a lot of beans. I don't think so anyway. And the bean, and what I did is I also added bacon. What I took is about 8 strips of bacon. I cut it into about 1-inch pieces, and I dropped them in there, and then I stirred everything. Now the only problem you really have when you're putting this stuff together is you want to make sure you break down all that brown sugar. And once you break down that brown sugar in there, you're gonna see it's gonna be like really good. Then you add a cup of ketchup, regular tomato ketchup. I use the Heinz myself. That's me. And I just added that in there. I mixed everything up really, 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 really good. And Oh boy, has it got some nice taste to it, man. Very slight. You can taste a little bit of a kick every now and then, but very nice. And then what you do is you cover it silverware, put the lid on it, and I keep it in the refrigerator overnight. That lets a lot of the flavors get into each other, which is going to complement it later on when I serve it. Now, positioning inside the smoker, the meat naturally will be on top. The beans will be uncovered and underneath, and there's a reason for that, to catch the droppings from the meat, which is going to add flavor to my beans. Anyway, that's what we got for you today, and I will let you know. The total time cooking for the meat is probably going to be about, I'm figuring 7 hours, maybe 8. The other thing is the beans are going to take anywhere between 3.5 to 4 hours. You can tell the beans are done when you take a thermometer and you stick it in there and they're 160 degrees. That's how you can tell your beans are good. All right? Thank you again for another fine, entertaining episode of Cooking with the Pitmaster. Bon appetit, baby. Hey. Okay, welcome to another fine episode of Cooking with the Pitmaster. Now, basically what we did at this point here is I put the beans in the smoker. You see where they're at. They're down on the bottom shelf. You got your pork up here, pork shoulders up here. I just spritzed it with apple juice that came from here. And every time you add wood, which I did a little bit before, you spritz the meat with apple juice. That's my wood soaking. That's hickory. It's a mixture of hickory and apple wood. And basically the meat's gonna cook. Gets up to a temperature of about 160, 170 degrees. I'm going to take it out, double wrap it in aluminum foil, and I'm going to place it back in the smoker. It's going to stay in the smoker. Oh, hello there, Maximus. It's going to stay in the smoker till it reaches an internal temperature, the meat, of 190 degrees. At that point, it can come out. When it comes out, it's going to sit on my cutting board, wrapped for approximately 45 minutes. This is called resting. The meat will be resting and chilling out. Max seems to enjoy smoked pork, and Molly seems to want a part of it too. In any event, then at that point, after that's done resting, the beans should be ready, and the beans can come out, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. Daisy's my assistant producer, and Spanky is the executive producer. All right, in any event, that's what we got going on, and I'll let you know when the meat is coming apart. Take care, and thank you for joining me with another interesting episode of Cooking with the Pitmaster. Take care. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with the Pitmaster. Alright, as you know, tomorrow what I got going on is I'm doing a pulled pork. To complement my pulled pork, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some smoked beans. Alright? I'll tell you how I started out. I started out with 56 ounces, that's 7 cups of beans. I strained them and drained them. I threw them in this big old pot right here. I don't know what you call this thing, but that's what I threw it in. Alright? Then I added a little pinch of cinnamon, some mustard, black pepper, jalapeno pepper, medium size, about like that. Half an onion, diced and sliced, just like the jalapeno diced and sliced. A cup of ketchup, a cup of brown sugar packed very, 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 very firm. I used pineapple chunks, about 8 ounces, strained and drained. Unsweetened's the best. And I also used some fresh garlic. Alright, mix everything together. And when you get everything mixed down together, and basically what you're doing is you're breaking down the brown sugar. Get all of that broken down real good. And it all looks good. And you add your bacon. I took about 8 slices of bacon. I sliced them into 1-inch pieces, and I tossed them in there. And again, I'm mixing it up right now. And I'll show you. This is what it looks like when it's all mixed. Looks good. And it smells really, 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 really good. I can only tell you that once this goes into the smoker, this is going to be a hit. You know, this and the pulled pork is a great combination. It's classic. Not everyone does. Not everyone smokes the beans, but it's really a good time. And there's going to be a lot of happy campers here tomorrow. Again, what I'll do tomorrow with this is it'll go into the smoker. I'm going to cook it for approximately 3.5 to 4 hours. It's going to be at a temperature of 220 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I'm going to try to maintain. 220, 225, something like that. That's what I'm going to maintain. I'm going to be using hickory and applewood in my smoker. Now, when the beans get up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, now I'll be able to tell that because what I have is I have an instant digital thermometer. I'll just stick it in there. Once I see that, I get the 160 degrees, I can pull these beans out of my smoker and bring them inside, put the cover on them, and at that point I'm pretty much just waiting on the pulled pork. One of the things you will want to do is that when you position your meat, you want to make sure your meat's up high and put your beans underneath. And there's a reason for that, my brothers, because the drippings from, in my case, I'm going to have the pork shoulder in there, also known as a Boston butt. I'm going to have that in there, and it's going to be cooking. And as those juices are dripping down, it's going to go right into my beans, adding more flavor. It's just a little trick that you pick up along the road, and hopefully you'll be able to try this. And let me know how you made out. And again, thank you for cooking with the Pitmaster. Music entertainment's been provided by my iPhone and Iggy Pop. And my wife is up in a quiet room right now. They came and took her away. And the old goat went home. So, I wish you all a great night. Bon appetit. If you got any questions, you know where I am. And hey, thank you for cooking with the Pitmaster, New York style. Ciao, baby.